So my last videos that are linked in the description down below, if you'd like to check them out, they're about the camera basics and you got the aperture, shutter speed, ISO, things like that, to understand very small, minor things about your photo and what it means for the image. Now I'd like to talk about the equipment that I use, the software I use, and pretty much just a very much just like an opinion on the things that I think are best and cheapest for someone that's starting out photography or video, and the best options in those categories. So we'll start with the camera because that's where everything starts anyway. My camera is pretty much considered obsolete. It's about 8 years old. It's a Canon T3i. It still shoots 1080 24 frames and 720 60 frames and still looks fairly clear. As you can tell right now, the video you're watching, it looks pretty good. It's definitely pretty decent quality. And it even has a hot shoe on top where you can put like a mic, and it has mic inputs and just general things that you would need to do like some sort of entry filming, things like that. So now I'd like to talk about the lenses, which are arguably as important as the camera itself, but I'll let you know that I was definitely in that mindset that I need to have the best gear, I need to buy new lenses, this will make me better, but looking back on it, it's definitely overkill. The best thing that I would say is keep your kit lens. Keep your kit lens. It's pretty much one of the ones you need, and a 50mm. Those are pretty much the only two I would say you need, and the 50mm, if you really want to buy one, is about $100. You may be able to pick up a whole entire kit, lens, and camera for about, even the T3i, probably like less than $300 with the kit lens, and then pick up the other 50mm, maybe even a separate thing. It may even cost less if you go to eBay or B&H Photo and find a used one that's in fairly good condition, and it may even just be less than $400 for you for all of it. But I would say definitely it's overkill what I bought. I have a 70-300, which I hardly ever use. I have an 85mm, which I use sparingly, mostly for just portraits, and I mean, it has really good glass, so I like how it looks, but it's definitely harder to use because it's all manual. It is a $400 lens, and I'll link all of them in the description down below if you really want to, check them out. And I also have the 50mm and the kit lens, and this Tokina 11-16mm. And it does a really good job of capturing, and yes, I'm glad I spent the money on it, but it's looking back on it, I could have saved myself some money just using the kit lens and not having to buy something like this. Basically, me spending over, what is that? How many lenses? 1, 2, 3. 3 lenses that are $400, plus the body and everything. Back when I bought it, it was still fairly new, so it was about $600. The camera itself and the kit lens, that's how much it was back then. So, but all in all, I spent way too much money for what I have. So I would definitely warn against it, because it's not worth the money unless you're actually needing it for something specific. Whereas right now I finally get to use this for what I was trying to intend to use it for before, but I'm finally using it for it. Alright, so let's talk about Instagram and other photo posting sites. So I would say if you're going to start there, all you really need is maybe Lightroom or Darktable. Darktable is free. However, it's a little harder to use, and I don't know if it's necessary. I don't think it can be used in Windows. It may have changed since then, but Lightroom is definitely better. It's got a better ease of use, and all you really need is camera, kit lens, Lightroom, and you can just start doing great. You start killing on Instagram, start doing a great job, and that's pretty much all you need. And we'll go over Lightroom and everything separately. But I would say if you're looking to buy something else, like another prime, a 35 or a 50. Now that I think about it, yeah, 35 or a 50 would be a decent alternative to just the kit lens, just because the prime's going to have a lower aperture, which is going to give you more of that bokeh, the nice blown out background, stuff like that. It looks very artistic. It's a great example as to why I say not to buy a bunch of different lenses, because I really only use 2. I find circumstances to use some of the other ones, kind of like this one, for this filming right now. So that's about enough for the gear part. Let's move on to software. Now, I know a lot of people are into Adobe CC and believe that it's some of the highest quality, which, I mean, Adobe products are great, don't get me wrong, but I don't like the subscription service. And I understand why they did it. They had so much piracy. So because they moved to that, I'm really going to stick with my Lightroom 5. It was only $100 when I bought it, rather than spending $20 every month to have Adobe CC. I mean, you do get some other perks with it. You get the mobile apps, stuff like that, but it's not as important to me because I can find other alternatives to those other apps that they put out there, or something close to it that'll work well enough. And unless you're just really using it every day, those apps really aren't as useful. If you're just like starting out, just doing your photography and your video stuff, you don't necessarily need a CC, Adobe CC account. And as for GIMP, I have tried Affinity and I have used Photoshop. GIMP to me actually has a good solid tool set that, unless you're doing just absolute professional work, you don't need to have a Photoshop application besides GIMP. I mean, because Photoshop does have, a little bit smoother works. It probably has some different tools and they do update it more often. But GIMP is definitely solid enough to where you don't have to worry about anything else for editing or photo manipulation. I'm totally fine with everyone using Adobe's products. I mean, I have nothing against them. I'm just saying that these are the best that you can use for free. And for those of you that want to do video editing, I would say Kdenlive is a really good program, but it does have some issues in Windows where some of the codecs won't actually render. I did run into that a few times, so it's just something to look out for. It is a decent free alternative. I will say the other one, and I'm pretty sure if you're already watching this, you already know, DaVinci Resolve has a really great tool set and it's free. There are some things behind a paywall, but most likely, unless you're doing professional work, you won't have to use it. It's nothing that you really need to worry about. And something I'll be doing soon, and I've used this program for many years doing streaming and stuff like that, is OBS. It's a desktop recording software that'll record your audio, your desktop, and a webcam if you hook one up to it. So if you record and you have all those three to go in together, it's usually good for doing tutorials like I'll be doing soon. And all those three together, it puts it right into a file, and on your computer you can specify where you want it located, and then you can just pull that right into your editor, either DaVinci Resolve, Kdenlive. I'd say that OBS is a really great software. It's free also. You can even use some of the other third-party products. Some other ones have been made, like Streamlabs made one, and it turned out really good, actually, Streamlabs, but I like the simplicity and the smaller size of just regular OBS, and so that'd be something you should look into. And also, if you just plan on you want to do audio separately, there is Audacity. I'll leave links to all the programs down below, everything that you would need to go into them, so you can actually look up forums that are on there. I'll link all that stuff down below, that way you can go look it and check it out, download it, give it a run, see what you like about it, see what you hate about it. So now I'm going to pass the conversation off to you guys. What's your favorite camera, maybe your lens, editing software? Let's start a discussion. I want to find out what those things are that you think are best and what you think can maybe suit me better. Maybe I'll find something that you guys already use that would help me out. But if you have any questions or comments, post them down below. Check the description for any of the things mentioned in the video, and I'll also link all the equipment I use to record this video down below. So please go and follow me on Instagram if you already haven't, and then remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Ring the little bell to get notifications, and I'll see you in the next video.